Welcome back, friendly ghosts. Let's get into some Dragoon. How everybody been doing in this quarantine session? Lockdown. It's been, I'm used to being, more laid back, low key. That's kind of just my style. So it's not really a big adjustment for me. But I still can't wait for this whole thing to be uplifted, and so we can get back to our regular lives. Oh, and what's the big news that I've heard about? RE3. What about RE3? There's some reviews about Resident Evil 3 that aren't very flattering. There's some reviews that are saying that basically the game seems like it's rushed. Like the first couple of segments of the game that we played in the demo is like the best part. And it's just some disappointing reviews out there. Just a couple, but I saw some good reviews also. One of the main things that they were saying is that it's just that it felt too much like an action game, and it wasn't enough puzzle solving, it wasn't as scary, and things like Nemesis was kind of disappointing to them, those type of things. And it's just kind of funny because going back before I played the demo, I was an inquisitive about the game as well. I was an inquisitive about it. I was wondering why weren't they showing the game off? Why was it so on hush mode? But then when I played the demo, I was like, oh, this might be one of my favorite games that I've ever played. And I still feel that way. So, I don't know if it's just a case of, holy damn, look at Shana got back up. Shana is OP. I don't know why people say she sucks. She's crazy. But yeah, I don't know if it's a case of just different folks, different strokes. But, I don't know. I have a hard time seeing Resident Evil 3 Remake being a 6 out of 10. I have a hard time seeing it being that low. When you got games, it's like, you got some horrible games out there that getting perfect scores. You can't tell me that Red Dead Redemption 2 is a perfect score and Resident Evil 3 is a subpar game. You're also complaining that the game's too short, it's 6 hours or something like that. Let me try to get the starters. But aren't all Resident Evil games kind of short? And I haven't played them, but I've seen some people play through a couple of them, and they all seem relatively short. Is there starters up here? I can't remember. There is. Yeah, but all Resident Evil games aren't really that long. I don't need to talk to that guy. He just gives you extra money. Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 2 Remake is like what? It's about running about that same time, ain't it? Just got multiple campaigns. So yeah, it's the reviews I saw. I'm not trusting them. I feel like I can judge the game for myself, and I can tell what game that I like. It's nobody's opinion on a game is going to change the way I feel about it. The way it feels in my hand is going to be different, from what you're expecting. Like some of the criticisms I saw for it is that the story, story based. Like they wanted more from the story, and they felt like they were being jumped around. And it's like, if the story is the main thing that you're harping on a game for, then I could live with that. I could live with that. I could totally be fine with that and just playing the game by myself. That's just, it's just, what are your priorities going into the game? Like, what do you really want from it? You want The Last of Us? The Last of Us is going to give you all that and then some. It's going to give you story out out the, out the interior end. That's Last of Us. But I don't really care about, deep connections with characters. It's cool for it to be there. Let me get that. Give me that. Why am I buying weapons for them? I'm not even using them. I'm not concentrating. This is a Rose solo. I can only use Rose to win boss fights, and there's no item shops. Weapon shops are cool, charm potions are cool, but no item shops. Unless I land 10 consecutive perfects. I remember, if I recall correctly, I have 7 perfects. I have 7. I only need 3 more. But yeah, if the story is like the main criticism for RE3, I can live with that just fine, sleep just fine, play it just fine, and I can still love that game like it, like it was a part of me. Like it's not that big of a deal for me. Quick story point for anybody who cares. Earlier in the game, when you first get to the first town, Bale, you see a girl who's been said to have been looking for her boyfriend for like 10 years or something. And there's something that this game does a lot. There are little side stories in the game that you have to actively look for. And they only come if you talk to the NPCs more than once, or if you come back to the locations at different time periods. And then they kind of give you a spill of their own backstory. So there's like a background story going on with the characters. But this is that girl's boyfriend that has been missing for 10 years. And if you talk to him, nothing work. Okay, so he's not telling anything of it right now, but maybe she might. Yeah, I met my husband, a second in command of Sergio, the knighthood, while I was picking plants. So he's actually married to somebody else, and that girl in Bale is still looking for him. So he just went out and just got married to some other chick and never came back. I think if you come back here later, I think they have like kids or something. I don't know if that's accurate. I haven't looked for that in forever. But it's just like a lot of mini stuff like that in the game. If you really look for it, that's just a little nice to sink your teeth into. That's over here, wrong place. Is there anything I could use over here? Do you have any charm potions, my dude? But yeah, those reviews haven't deterred me one bit. Actually, I've heard something really sick, really sick about Resident Evil 3 that I don't know if it's legit or not. But it seems like it was semi-credible, or at least that a lot of people were kind of like on the same boat. That they were saying that Resident Evil 3 didn't have that much content and it was over too quick. But they said that there was like a semi new game plus options. Like once you beat the game, you get bonus stuff and like your typical Resident Evil. But they said like once you beat the game on like hardcore mode, then you unlock a randomizer. And I was like, whoa. Like I was like kind of sympathizing with the reviews for a second. And then I saw that and I was like, oh my god. If that is true, to hell with all them reviews, man. To hell with them. I'm back on board as if I've never even seen those reviews. If that is true, take care of them. If that's true, that's better than any new multiple campaigns that they could have done. If they randomized everything within the game, oh my god, I was button mashing. Damn it, Dart, be self-righteous. Freaking Popo. Do I have to start from the beginning? But yeah, if that's the case, if that's like legit, upon a new game, you get a randomizer of everything, enemies, and treasure. And what makes me believe that is that in the demo, there's already some hints of randomized items. There's already some randomized treasures. Can I say which? You know, so I'm thinking that would be so sick if that's the case. I think that's gonna be the case. And if they did some Resident Evil 7 stuff, like I don't know the name of the mode, like Ethan must die, I think that's what it's called. Protect something. If they do something like that, yeah, that's game over. So yeah, those reviews that they were saying like, oh, it's disappointing, it's compared to Resident Evil 2, the remake is kind of rushed, blah blah blah. Some sequence were out of place, it seemed like there was too many action scenes, not enough puzzles, you don't get to stay in one area for long, some weird QTEs that seem out of place. All of that I could live with because I enjoy playing the game, the feel of the game, I enjoy that. And if there is, that new game plus option, that's just gonna be a match made in heaven. I don't know if I'm ever gonna even be able to unlock that, if that's even in the game. If that's in the game, which I haven't been able to find it. I looked for it. I don't know if it's in some sort of review or some sort of reviewer who had to, just the only reviewer who attempted to beat the game on hardcore mode. I don't know. I haven't found it. I haven't looked that hard for it either. But that's the word that I heard. Word to the bird. And if that is legit, I know every one of you who are Resident Evil fans, or you're soaked right now. You're soaked and you're stoked. I didn't mean to say soaked. But both are true. Don't lie to me. Both are true. You can't lie to me about that. I know it's true. Man, that's gonna be so sick. I think the only thing that is, I kind of foresaw all of the things that they were saying negative things about. It's kind of what I've already felt. I don't know if it's just because I'm pessimistic, or is this like that's just kind of what I pieced together, because they were like hiding the game for such a long time. It was just so quiet. But also just from the eye test, looking at the nemesis and all that stuff, I kind of feel like he was underwhelming. But the hope is that on harder difficulties that he's a lot better. And depending on how he's implemented in those boss fight sequences that every reviewer is kind of hampering on about being a big disappointment, depending on how that's handled is going to make or break the experience for different groups of people. If he's like, if it's done well, I think people will forgive that he's not another Mr. X wandering freely in every area. Oop, can't touch this, son. I could fight those guys, but I don't want to. This guy right here, these two right here, every single time I play this, I try to avoid them. And it's not possible yet, but I'm going to do it one of these days. There's a spirit ring out here, I think. Pellet, that's useless, sort of. Burnout. Dang it, I thought it was going to be like a spirit ring. My memory, it's the fun thing about it, playing these games, is I don't remember much about it until I try to be a try hard and be an expert, and then I try to teach people of what I know. Okay, here I go. 3, 2, 1. If I get caught on the ladder, they pull you down, so they won't let you climb it. I got it. I'm gonna inch forward a bit. Okay. Okay. So I can only inch forward like 3 times, but I got this. Okay. No. I think the only way that you might be able to do it, if it were possible, is to go around them, but it's not possible. Ah. Okay, Rose. What addition you got? Okay. More and more. Dart. Don't need you. Actually, we need Dart to build up his S. No, we don't really. We don't really need special, unless we just wanted to show off. But I want to get Shana up to her. I want to get her Dragoon up as fast as possible, because I'm not going to use her in boss fights. The plan here is that I'm going to build Shana up enough to use her for the final boss. But in the meantime, I'm going to have this be a Rose solo, and everybody in a boss fight is going to have to get laid out. So I'm going to put Shana in the back party for every boss fight, if I can. Man, Resident Evil comes out in what, 3 days from now? No, like 4 days from now. I hope it's the sickest thing. And there's some other game that's on the way out too, I think. Final Fantasy VII. But I'm not really that invested in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I played the demo, but it didn't really connect with me. I don't like the action RPGs. It just doesn't click. You know, if it feels like they want the best of both worlds, where they want an action game, but they want it to be RPG because they don't want to alienate too many people. So they go halfway with action, halfway with RPG, and it just feels, to me, it just doesn't feel right. You know, and I don't know. I've tried. I don't think I'm gonna buy it, but I'll definitely watch some people play it. Like, I watched a few streamers play it, so that's gonna be fun. I still want to watch somebody play it, but it's probably not gonna game that I want to play myself. Games that are like too heavily on the story front aren't really my type of games. You know, if it's like a game that I can just get in and get in the groove with, you know, trying techniques and developing strats, stuff like that, and it's not too intrusive with me trying to do that, then that's a game that I can really get in and play. You know, games I can just play just for the heck of it. Like, even Shenmue, to an extent, is a game that you could just play and just try to find strats for. Like, I don't think anybody really cares if you skip too much of the story. Okay, that's probably a bad example. Shenmue people, they probably care. They probably care. But, you know, it's not as bad as Final Fantasy. Oh, get around the corner, please. Oh, go down, get in there! Oh, okay. I'm not gonna. Get out of there. Get out of there, son. Get out of there, son. You're not ready for this. Man, I was watching some Ed and Eddie parodies, and then I started just watching a gang of them. Come on now. Come on, man. Those parties are so funny. 25 cents, Kevin. What? 25 cents is all it takes to see God. Once he said that, Kevin's eyes got so... He started wandering about like, what the hell am I doing here? I forget, what did he say? Damn it. Oh, this is gonna be one of those struggle bust. What did he say? Have you ever seen something so pure? Something so unattainable? Where's Johnny? Where is everybody? He's witnessing perfection. They've witnessed something so pure that their hearts can no longer turn back. Oh man, that one and rabbit season? Rabbit season? Come on, that didn't even touch me. That didn't even touch me. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah. What's up, Doc? Oh, I gotta hit the button. I was waiting. You got a nice little. You got a nice little man. Like it's still like some Christian in me that doesn't want to curse and say foul. I don't need to go that way. That is like always hesitant to say, language. Man, that was so funny. You got a nice man to see there, don't you? What I really liked though, I liked his Rugrats one. I liked the Rugrats one because he hits a lot of story beats. He hits them pretty sharply. It's like the classic in stories is you have to have an action and then you have to have a reaction. It's like something in between like that, I think. Hold on, let me concentrate. It's like concentrate. It's like there has to be an action, an initial action, and then there has to be like a reaction period where you're not really understanding of the situation, like a surprise reaction, and then there's the mindful reaction that comes afterward. There's the action, then there's the shock, or the mind, like in receiving the information. Like when you see, like when you hear a gunshot, your first reaction is probably going to be, what was that? Or or you're just like a state of fear. You're not going to initially be like, okay, everybody get down. Sure, you'll come to that point eventually, but your first initial reaction is going to be just a state of shock or questioning what just happened. So there's the action, and then there's the realization period, and then there's the reaction. And I like the Rugrats one because he hits a lot of those story beats, very, very sharply. And I like that it's just action after action after action. And of course you got the appeal of there being like a contrast to the situation. you wouldn't expect this to happen in this situation, and so that's what makes the situation that's happening a bit more appealing. Although if you have too much contrast, then that's an overdose. Too much of anything is too much. If you put your picture on too much contrast, it's going to look ugly. But if you have it just right, you can make those darks look nice and dark, and it'll make everything else pop. So it's the same thing with hitting the story beats in that sense. But yeah, when like the state of the initial pros of the scene, stews of drunk or whatever, and then you got the foreshadowing in the scene, and you got the kids who are representing the contrast to the situation, and that makes it a bit more appetizing to. I thought there was actually going to be a battle, so I'm not looking at the screen. It's the appetizer of the contrast between the two, that you're intrigued. You feel like you're in that scene, and also just the relatability of each moment is also appealing, because it's easy for you to grasp. If you have like something so big or vague that the human mind can't really interpret, like say the size of the sun or a galaxy or something like that, then it's going to be hard for you to relate to what you see. You're going to be kind of like mentally dazzled. But if you have like the size of a ship or a basketball court or a front yard, or something that you could visually see from top to bottom, then you could really you can have a grasp of the magnitude of the situation. But if something that's just like you can't even really grasp the size of a pond, or something like the size of a pond would blow people's minds away if they could really just grasp from top to bottom with height. I don't know what I got on this tangent for. It just feels good to just be doing this. I should really play this more often. Oh, I know why I wasn't. I was trying to get OBS to work. I have OBS, but there's a couple of problems. Damn, that's the first edition I missed. Actually, I'm gonna use OBS for this, probably. But it's going to be post-production stuff. I tried to do it live in one take, but my computer is too nerfed for this situation. Yes, the computer is just really holding me back, man. Really holding it back. But yeah, the story beats. I got so off topic. The story beats of like. It just flows so sharply. I don't want Dark getting SP. And I really appreciate when story beats hit properly and hit sharp like that. That's something I really try to study, is hitting sharp and quick to the point. I hate when things drag on, but it's hard to get that in the first take. It's something that you have to just really dial in. It feels like for me, I have to like look at something for a long time and then really consider everything about it before I can really decide, okay, well, I don't need this part. I can take this part out, I can take this part out, I can take this part out. But if I were to not do that, then I'll have like this long piece in. Hell, with this, but I can sell it. You have any charm poses? I don't need to talk to you. Feels like my game is like out of sync with the foreground, but that might be how it is. Okay, let's go up. We're gonna fight these guys. haven't played Soul Calibur 6 in a long time. I haven't played Soul Calibur 6 since Season 2 first dropped. That was the last time I played. I want to go back to it, but it's nothing that's really appealing for me to go back to it. I think Hamaru came out recently. I think he might have came out recently. So I should probably check that out. But yeah, just the whole Taki thing just kind of, I tried to justify it for myself to make me feel better about playing the game. I try to make myself want to believe. But the more I kept playing, and the more I kept seeing, and the more I just felt like it wasn't something that I wanted to go through again. You know, when I'm used to fighting a game just staying the same, and whatever you learn about the game is something that sticks with you, something that sticks with you. It's something that you could just keep evolving and learning and taking it to the next level, keep mastering and mastering. Once you master the character, then you're moving on to mastery of your mastery, and then refining, and then mastering your execution, and mastering all these different things. You're never done mastering something. You know, and for me personally, it takes me a long time to really dig my teeth into a fighting game. I'm a slow learner. And for me, I feel like that's taken away whenever you change the game so drastically. Like the things they changed for Taki, it just felt so drastic for me personally that it felt like I was playing a different character. All the things that I liked about the character got taken out. You know, all the fun things. They slowly took out some of the fun things. You know, took possession counseling, and they nerfed that. I'm targeting Rose actually. Ooh, that hit pretty tough. Pretty tough hitter. But could you hit Dart one more time? It's not a boss fight. Okay. So this is the enemies having rage, you know, basically. When they get to low health, then they get access to like a deeper moveset, a stronger moveset. And they start doing, that's when you get into danger zone, which is what he's doing right now. If I left him at top health, he wouldn't be doing any of that. Uh-oh. All out attack. Oh. If he goes twice, then I'm out. I'm gonna transform. Or do I need to? Do I need to transform? That's the question. I'm gonna do it. I don't want to get no game over against some jobber like this guy. But yeah, I feel like they changed Taki more than I was willing to accept them changing her. Okay, I'm gonna go for the perfect. Okay, I got 7 in a row. I got 7 consecutive. I haven't done this in so long, and I haven't practiced. Okay, I only need 3 more. Come on. I blew it. Oh. It's my fault. I shouldn't have taken such a long break off of playing. Damn. Damn. I think the spirit ring is over here. What I was saying, yeah, Taki, I feel like their changes that they made were just more than I felt like I was ready to take on. And it just didn't feel interesting for me to try to go back to it. Got my way, sucker. And it's just a weird thing, like they just feels like they just hate that character for some reason. Like they go through it's like they've done everything that they could to make sure that she was underwhelming. And here's the thing, when season 2 first dropped, I was excited. I was like, she's gonna get all these buffs. She's got the new soul charge combos, extenders for each character. Oh, could you imagine going through her combo path and going into a soul charge, and then you get to reset the combo and then go back into the unblockable setup and da. You know, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so sick. And she got her soul charge move is, I don't know if there's anybody's found a use for it yet, but from the short bit that I played, it looked like it was trash. It looked like it was absolute trash. Like there was no point or reason to ever do it. From the short time that I played, that's how it felt. You know, you could barely fit that in the combo. And when you did, it was the end of the combo. And there was no reason to do it any other time, because it was so negative. And it just felt like everything that you could have done with it, it was a move that left you in more of a mix-up than they were in, you know. Hard blade, nice. Yeah, so her soul charge, that was a letdown. That was a new move that they gave her. That was a letdown. It's like, okay. And then they gave her like a couple of more moves. They gave her like an approach. Before that, Taki didn't have a way to approach anybody. You know, once he was out in, like, you know, once he was at a distance, she was screwed. You know, there was nothing she could do. She was basically just going to get her, you know, she was going to get her ass eaten out, you know, live on the 6th stage of history. You know, that's like an everyday occurrence for Taki. Every single time, she's just going to get her ass eaten out. And there's just nothing you can do about that when you're at a distance like that. So they finally gave her a move to approach. And that's cool. That's like the best moves he got out of that season 2. And then they gave her, I guess they feel like, oh well, now that she gave her a move to approach with and get in, you know, well, that's all she really needs. They gave her a low. She didn't have any lows before that. They gave her 2 lows. They gave her one out of Stalker, I think it's called, the flip. If you hold it, they gave her like she starts breakdancing on the floor. They gave her that as a mix-up, but it's super, super unsafe. The only way you can make it somewhat tolerable is if you land on the other side of the opponent. And that way, when you land, you're facing the opponent and you're not facing back turn. So they gave her that. And yeah, that could get people, but that's like a huge commitment. And then they gave her one out of possession, which she didn't have before for some reason. They gave her that out of possession, but it's so reactable, and it's just so reactable, you know, that I don't see the purpose of it. That I started trying to just use it to just counter hit people from like a close mid distance, you know, just to, because it was no way that I could throw that out in good faith and hope that it would hit somebody. And I don't think the follow-up is guaranteed. It might be guaranteed on counter hit, but I don't think it was. It might have been. I don't know. It's been a long time. And they have the nerve to... They gave that move lethal hit properties. You know, as if that... They gave it lethal hit properties. The move that you're hardly ever going to hit somebody with, they gave it a lethal hit. You know, so she has what, her one out of Stalker, that's a lethal hit that you're never going to ever land. I haven't landed it once since I've owned the game on anybody. I haven't even landed it in practice when I was trying to. I'm exaggerating on that, but so they gave her, she has that useless lethal hit. She has another useless lethal hit, which is like you have to guard break somebody and you know, and then you continue through with the low, and that's lethal hits them. It's not even a low, I don't think. I don't even think it's a low. I think it's like a special mid. But you guard break them with like the cartwheel kicks, and then you go into the A, and it lethal hits them, and it launches them. But the thing is that you get such a crappy combo out of doing that. It's like after a guard break, you're better off not even going for it. You know, so that's another crappy lethal hit. And they gave her... It's been so long, but I can't really remember all the lethal hits. Yeah, press the button, Dart, please. What's the other one that she has? There's another useless one. I'm pretty sure it's been so long, but I'm pretty sure there's another one in there. I can't think of it. But that's just the gist of it. She has some good lethal hits too, but the thing is that you're not gonna land those in every match like some of these other characters got. You know, they're not like, you know, not like option selects that you're gonna just land on people. You have to get to the side of an opponent. Yeah, you know, you have to get to the side of an opponent, or you have to hit them with the lunging B. Which, why would anybody ever duck against Taki? He has no lows. There's no reason to duck. You know, and it's just so like, I feel like it's just like a spite thing, you know, like she hardly had anything going for her in the first place, and it was like, man, you know how hard or how not often you're going to land that lethal hit in the first place to even go for that unblockable combo. And even if you do get the lethal hit, it's no guarantee that you're even going to get it, because the players have to align properly, and if they don't align properly, then you're not going to be able to do it. And on top of that, it's hard to do, and on top of that, it's landing the unblockable part. It's not exactly the easiest thing to do. You have to be on point to actually guarantee it. It's kind of, I don't know if it's a just frame. If not, it's like just sort of a just frame that you have to hit the guard to make her turn around and then enter the unblockable within the point that she's turning around. If you hit it, input it too soon, then she doesn't do the unblockable because she's still turning around. So you have to hit it like right at the midpoint where she's turning to get the unblockable to come out like as soon as possible. And if you do it just right, then you guarantee the hit on the ground if they're like facing with their facing like with their feet some direction. I can't remember. But you know, you have all these variables mixed in. Let me play Shana. You know, it's like so many variables just to do this one combo. and you nerf it. You take the combo entirely out the game. Like it's, I guess they feel like her season 2 buffs, quote unquote buffs, were just too much for Taki to have. Alright, so those 2 lows that they gave her and the approach from mid-range, I think those were the only moves that they gave her. Or they gave her like some options out of hitting her guard stunning bombs where she could enter possession and approach. They gave her that for pressure and stuff. But Taki has fake pressure. It's not real pressure, you know. That's the thing. It's not real.
Die. More and more.
You know, so they gave her those 2 lows, and they gave her the approach from mid-range, and they gave her her soul charge, which every character got. Soul attack things. And then they take away her combo, you know, her unblockable combo, which is a combo, you know, unblockable. It's not really, doesn't really fit in the sentence. It's just an unblockable finish for the combo. Just guard Albert, we don't need you. So they took that out, and effectively all of Taki's damage is just reduced all across the board. So now she's stuck with her, you know, pathetic damage, even on counter hit, on soul charge, at the wall, into super, out of super, it doesn't matter. Her combo damage is pathetic. You know, you have all those things lined up. You have soul charge, you have the wall, lethal hit, counter hit, you get everything. With soul charge, you're still going to barely get any decent amount of damage with her now. Crush. That's starting down. Just need him to target Albert. So I can just make him take Albert down by missing the addition. Big brain. So yeah, they gave her buffs. I think the biggest buff they actually gave her is something that they gave every character, is that throws do a little guard damage now. Chip damage, rather. Crush. Crushable. Jeez Louise, man. Get off my case. But yeah, after the buffs, the major buffs that they gave Taki, they immediately nerfed the buffs that they gave her after taking away the 50% of her damage across the board. And then within season 2, they also nerfed her wall game. She can no longer hit people on the wall with forward B plus K. I don't want to heal Albert, so I'm trying to outlast. Yeah, but that no longer wall splats. You know, so like now they neutered her. She's completely neutered. She has no way to do anything now. Did 89, but if he takes double turns on me, then I would really not like that. So I'm gonna just heal. I have enough healing potions for a solo especially. And we're just gonna... you have any rend? Oh my god. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. Oh my god. Booyaka booyaka! 619! Booyaka booyaka! That's my plato! 619! That was sick.
More and more.
That was sick. Damn, level 20 going into this. Doe is about to get, he's about to get his ass eaten out. On the 6th stage of history. But yeah, man, like they immediately nerfed the buffs that they just gave Taki after they stripped her of multiple essential tools. You know, it's like, and I guess like the thing that they're trying to pitch here is that I guess her pressure game is better than ever now, I guess. But it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Check her arms. I'm good. So I haven't saved, and considering how easily I beat Congo, it's not really a big deal. Yeah, I'll keep that edition. Did I max out Whip Smack? Yeah, I did. This is so baffling. They nerfed Taki's lows that they just gave her, the new move they just gave her, because he didn't have any lows. They nerfed it. The one out of Stalker, the only good one that was, you know, that was kind of a mix-up. You know, because the other one is very reactable. You know, and this one, it was already super unsafe. But they decided that it was too safe, and they had to nerf it to make it more unsafe. And it's just like what does he get? She was already behind in the game, you know. That's the thing. She was already behind, trying to catch up. And in an attempt to bring her up, you stripped her of everything that made her somewhat, you know, on the front porch while everybody's in the dinner party. You know, you strip that away, and then you give her something else, and then you strip that away.
Die. More and more.
And everybody else, they're getting they're getting pimped out, you know, strolling on into the party. And they getting pimped out, you know, like they getting crunk. So they getting their buffs. They're getting season 2 new moves. They getting soul charges that are sick, that are dope. You can just throw them out just willy nilly, and you're like, oh, why not throw this out? You know, like, why wouldn't I just toss this out? You know, it's only a benefit for me. You know, they're getting all these privileges. I hate that word. They getting these privileges. Yeah, you know, they're getting minimal nerfs, you know, at the side. Things that never really mattered to them.
Die.
You know, it's just crazy. Damn, that did a lot of damage. I don't want to put him in his new form yet. Miss. I'm actually gonna put the shield on her right now, because once he transforms, he doesn't do physical attacks, or he might. I think that one little pew 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 is a physical, but it's like that's not even worth being worried about. So I just want to get the full heal right now. or at least a decent amount of heals. Alright.
Die. More and more.
More and more. More and more. You want to play tough? I can play that way too. Finds together before the moon that never sets and relaxes. Man, you know, Taki, the thing is like, I feel like I think even though all those nerfs and buffs situation, despite all of that, I was still enjoying the character, but it's just the fact that so much changed that I felt like I wanted to be still mastering what I was already learning, you know, and it felt like it was just too much that they wanted me to relearn, and I didn't like that. I don't like them doing stuff like that. Damn, I messed up and still got that. I'm getting better at this. It's another single. I don't think I need these for anything, and I got them, so why not use them? Am I gonna take him out before he does his shield? Nah, he's not even close to me. Okay. What are ones that I might need later? How did I get all these singles? Let me use this because I'm gonna save that for disc 2. I gotta find Mirage later. Nobody's light coming up, so I'll throw this one out. Oi. Is that long move? He hasn't done it yet. Hasn't done it once. That did a decent amount. Not that much. Now, did that do exactly the amount that I had to guard for? Yeah, so I guard more than he hits me for. Oh no, I guard the exact amount that he hits me for. This is messed up. This is so messed up. All the other attack items I kind of want to keep. I don't really need that though. I also don't need this. Should I do it and try to go for 160? I mean 260? I kind of need to... What I don't want to do is use another healing item, so I'm gonna heal the old-fashioned way. Try to get this perfect though. Give him some biscuits, some seasonal biscuits. Okay, back on track.
Die.
Come on, Cletus. Oh, he's gonna need that long move. It's a long move that you can't skip. No, I thought that doing a solo no item shop challenge would be tougher, but so far I think it's tougher doing a no item shop challenge regular. Like, this feels manageable. Like, I could probably beat this without even getting into 10 perfects and buying items. I'm speaking too soon. The ones that have status effects and stuff like that are going to be the trouble ones. I've already lost a couple of times because of status effects. Status effects are crucial in a solo. They are crazy OP. You know, that's not something you mess around with. You get hit with one status in a solo, you're screwed. You know, game over, instant game over. They essentially have 2 instant KOs that they can use on you at any point in any time. Like Rose, you are witnessing perfection. Have you ever witnessed something so pure that your heart can no longer remain on this earth? That your heart can no longer turn back. Shut up. Ah, shouldn't have talked. So yeah, there's Remake 3 coming out. Remake 7 coming out. I feel like there's something else coming out as well that I forgot about. Get him, Dart. You kill hogging son of a... You have become strong. Uncle. What you should know is not the past, but the future. Pursue Lloyd. He is in the western country of Tuberloa. Jabba-woo-woo. He knows everything. Go and find out. About the world. About everything. So sad. Ay. So that's disc 1 in the books. Finally beat that. It shouldn't have taken this long, but better late than never. Better late than never. Better with a plate than a feather. Yeah, that works. Like how Rose is just sitting casually next to the flames on her back, you know, just not worried about him singeing her hair or anything like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Remake 3. Remake 3 and We ain't heard nothing about no PS5. I've been meaning to talk about that shit. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to talk about that. Yeah, the freaking PlayStation 5 people, that event that they held, the freaking chalkboard. You know, what you really should be excited about the PS5 is that we have these things that allow you to hear it so much clearer. And what this really means is that once you put the decibel inside the precise precision of the Dickmobile, that entices your experience tenfold. You are now able to experience audio and hearing on a brand new level. And here's why. Just going into these deep explanations, freaking, we got ears, okay? You know, that was interesting at first. You know, that whole event is like, okay, I'm gonna sit through this. I'm gonna wake up super early because there's a chance that they're gonna show some demonstrations. They're gonna show some demonstrations about these PS5s, man. These PS5s, my brother. And we're gonna finally see some examples. I don't care if they told us the same old thing about the loading times. Show me some loading times, my dude. Show me some loading times. I will revel. But then that, it just show me, let me see it by the example. A shining example. An exemplary force for me to feast upon. Yeah. Just give it to my eyes. And I will raise you as a champion. Oh man, do you know how much of a ball they dropped? We're all in lockdown, man. All of us are in lockdown. And everybody has their eyes out on this event. You know, PS5, you know, we want to see what we're working with. It's the one bright spot that we got. It's a chance to practically have a new revolution. You know, people being Sony shills. You know, this is a new chance. This is like a revolution for the earth. And you come out and you not only do you not show any game demonstrations, even from some old consoles of showing some loading times, not only do you not show that, you don't even show the console. Like what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? Y'all brothers is to weapon. You know how big that would have been if they just sold. Everybody is on lockdown, man. Everybody, they can't go nowhere. They're all looking for some form of entertainment. I woke up at freaking 8 a.m. in the morning. It's not early, but it is to me. 8 a.m. just to see this. I'm like, against my better instincts, I'm going to get jebaited once again by PlayStation. And I'm gonna do it because this time it's going to be for real. And lo and behold, asses were eating out on the 6th stage of history once again. Jebaited. Screw your expectations. No remakes. No nothing. Just a bunch of talkies on the 6th stage of history. With a pen and a pad. You know, a masochist talkie with a pen and a pad on the 6th stage of history. Ain't nothing good coming from those patch notes. I'll save it over this one again. Yeah, man, I'm gonna call it up, wrap it up here. I got this hour-long vid. It's gonna be hell to edit. So before that gets too much longer, man, I'm going to wrap it up here. Like some gangsta-itis. I don't know what accent it is that I'm doing. That's my reading voice. I slip into it sometimes when I want to talk fast. That's also my rapid voice. I don't know why. That's just how it is when I try to speak fast. I just start going in on this one. You know, this is the way to be. You know, thug love, baby. Oh man, middle school. Everybody thought I was just the hardest dude in middle school. I was in this Christian school, and I was the only one who listened to the only person who had the idea to bring an iPod to school. And the only thing I had on it was like I had Ja Rule, Jeezy, Lil Wayne, Bone Thugs, Tupac, Biggie, The Game, G Unit. I was the only person who had all these things. You know, everybody just thought I was just the hardest dude on there at this Christian school. Yeah, it's like just going about it. It's like, you know, it's just fun times, man. Thug love, baby. Thug love, baby. And that was cool. That was cool. I don't know why. I think people are just afraid. I don't know. I guess I have this look in my eye. This look of social awkwardness. But also being a person of color amongst a bunch of other people who aren't. Or a bunch of people who are, you know, they're not, I don't know, are they people of color? Everybody's a person of color, but technically, I don't know how to say it. Not minorities, a bunch of people who aren't brown, you know. And that's just the way the cookie crumble. Man, I had some wild stories, man. I don't know why, but people just thought I was in some big player. They just thought I was like some major player, you know, in school. Like, it's like thinking like I took like the principal's daughter. You thinking I was like just getting it in with her like in the middle of school time and stuff. I was like, hey man, no comment. I don't have anything to do with this, man. I'm not incriminating anybody. I have nothing to do with this. And middle school is so whack. I got into a fight with just about every person in school. The Christian school especially, there was like that was one big scam. I went to that Christian school from middle school to the start of high school to like my second or third year in high school. And they had their own credit system, so I went in there on their own credit system. They was gonna, once I stayed in that system, I could graduate, you know, and everything was gonna be good. I was all in the good. But then these teachers, they have their own kids in the school, and they were being real shady, you know, hooking them up with the answer sheets, and you know they obviously go home with the teachers. You know, it's one small class, and they just go home with the teachers and the people with the answers, and you know they're putting their kids through, you know, into college, you know, whatever. And it was a point because I was trying to graduate. You know, what else am I in school for? I'm trying to graduate, so I'm trying to better myself and get my essays done and my books done. But you have to raise your hand and have a flag and wait for them to come to you so you can go up and grade your own work. And the whole time, like I'm finishing my stuff and I'm waiting for them to come over so I can grade my own stuff to give me permission to get out of my seat. And they're just taking their sweet time not coming to my seat and wasting time of the school day. And it's just like so frustrating. Like, what can I do other than just wait for them to come over here? And then eventually I just got to the point I was like, I'm just going to get up and grade my own stuff. And I do that, and then they send me back, and you know they give me the business. You know, I get in trouble. You know, then we start getting into it, and then I'm going up there, and they just started grading my own stuff because they didn't want me grading it for some reason. And so the thing is, when I go up there and grade my stuff, you get to check the answers, and you get to see what you did wrong, and you try to learn your stuff, and then you get a quiz before you turn your stuff in to see if you really learned anything. So they just took that opportunity from me from grading my stuff and see what I did wrong, and they just went up there and they took it and they graded them themselves. And they just marked a bunch of things wrong and they give it back to me and it's a here, fixed it. And I was like, okay, but fix, like, I don't know what I did wrong, like, and it's like, you know, just do it again. And the one thing that was the worst, I turned in an entire book, and if you get some things wrong, they just tell you to just do the parts that you did wrong, you know, towards the end and fix those parts. But at one point in time, it got so much animosity got between us, I guess, that they just took my entire book, they threw it out, and then they gave me a new book and say, here, start from scratch. And it's like a 50-page book, and you have to finish that in order to take a test and get some credits. And it's like, I'm already behind. Like, why would you take all the work I did and throw it away? And we just started getting into it because they just started banning some extra stuff. And eventually, long story short, or long story medium, we got into some arguments and they closed down after that year. Their kids graduated that year and they closed the school down after that year. And so now I'm not in their system anymore. So I have to go through a continuation school because they didn't transfer any of the credits that I did during my 4-year span. They didn't transfer any of it. So now I'm starting from scratch in my 3rd or 4th year high school with no credits, and I have to go into a continuation school because no other school would accept me. And it's like, oh my god, you know, it's just, I don't know why I felt the need to say that. I just some places are just really shady, man. Just really shady, you know. So just keep your eye out for some things and stay ahead of the game. Stay ahead of the game and keep your quest for learning and knowledge and stay in the right. By right, I mean the righteous lane, the righteous one. Stay in the path of wisdom, and you know, just don't get taken down like that, man. That is the worst. That is so messed up. But man, I made it out on top anyway, because I graduated on my own after getting kicked out of a couple more schools because, you know, building bad habits after bad experiences and stuff. But I graduated before a lot of other people because I got my GED and I took the test and I was like, oh, I'll study for it real quick. I know enough. I took it, I passed it, and hey, came out on top. May peace be with. It's a weird way to send off. May peace be with. Always keep your heads up, deuces, dos, spells, adios, stay cool. If you like my content, be sure to show some love. But always be sure to show some love to the people that matter to you. This is ITOwl, and be cool. Peace. Much love, and stay safe.